Title, she whispered, "End it fast." The bikers pulled her shirt, then froze in silence. Part 1, The Encounter, 800 words. The road stretched endlessly under the pale light of a dying sun. Dust floated in the air as the wind whispered through the empty plains. The world felt deserted, except for the faint echo of boots against the gravel. A young woman, no older than 25, walked along the side of the highway. Her clothes torn, her face bruised, and her steps heavy. Her eyes carried a deep exhaustion, the kind that comes from too much running, not from distance but from pain. She glanced over her shoulder every few seconds, as if the past was chasing her. Maybe it was. The horizon was empty, until the distant rumble of engines shattered the silence. She froze, the unmistakable sound of motorcycles in loud, powerful, and closing in. Her heart started to pound. She wrapped her thin jacket tighter around her, hoping the shadows would hide her, but it was too late. 5 headlights appeared over the ridge, cutting through the dusk like knives. The roar grew louder until it swallowed every sound around her. The woman's fingers clenched the edge of her sleeve. She knew what it meant when a group of bikers stopped for a lone woman on a deserted road. The motorcycles surrounded her in a half circle, engines still running, exhaust smoke curling into the night. The leader, a tall man with tattoos crawling up his neck and a jagged scar over his left cheek, killed his engine and leaned forward. "Well, well," he said, voice rough and mocking. "What's a little thing like you doing out here all alone?" The woman didn't answer. Her lips were trembling, but her eyes were steady, watching, waiting. "Hey," another biker said, grinning. "She's cute. Maybe she's lost." The men laughed. The woman took a shaky step back, her heels slipping on the gravel. "I'm not lost," she whispered. Her voice was soft but firm. "I just want this to be over." The leader raised a brow, pretending not to hear her. "Over? You saying you're tired of walking? We can give you a ride," he said, smirking. "Right, boys?" The laughter rose again, echoing across the empty highway. One biker reached out and tugged at the corner of her sleeve, testing her fear. But she didn't flinch. She looked him straight in the eye, her voice breaking but calm. "End it fast," she whispered. The laughter stopped for half a second, confusion flickering among them, then returned louder, crueler. "End it fast?" The scarred leader repeated, amused. "You're a strange one, sweetheart. We ain't gonna end nothing. Not yet." The woman lowered her eyes, whispering a prayer under her breath. "Come on now," another biker jeered, stepping closer. "Let's see that pretty face properly." He reached forward and grabbed the front of her jacket, tugging it open. The sound of tearing fabric echoed. And then, everything stopped. The man's hand froze midair. His face went pale as his eyes widened in shock. "What the?" he muttered, staring at what he saw beneath her torn shirt. The rest of the group leaned forward, trying to see. And then they saw it. The tattoo inked just over her collarbone. A symbol they knew too well. A skull with angel wings. And below it a single word written in bold letters. Reaper's blood. The leader's face drained of color. His breath hitched as memories surged back. That insignia, that name. Reaper. Their old commander. The man who built their brotherhood, who led them through everything, and who died protecting them years ago. For a moment, none of them spoke. The engines rumbled in the background, the night wind carrying their shock. The woman looked up slowly, eyes glistening with tears, but filled with fire. "Go ahead," she said softly. "Finish what you started." The leader shook his head, still staring at the tattoo. Where did you get that?" he asked, his voice trembling now, no longer mocking. She met his gaze without fear. "He was my father," she said simply. Silence. The air grew heavier than steel. The men looked at each other, the truth settling over them like a ghost from the past. The leader's hand shook as he stepped back. "No way," one of them whispered. "That can't be Reaper's kid. He never said he had a daughter." The woman closed her torn jacket, her expression calm, steady. "He didn't," she replied. "He didn't want me in this world. But I'm still here." For the first time that night, the bikers said nothing. No laughter, no arrogance. Just silence, and the kind that carried regret. The leader swallowed hard, lowering his head. We didn't know, he murmured. She took a deep breath and whispered, "Nobody ever does." Then she turned and started walking away, her shadow stretching long under the fading headlights. The bikers stood there speechless, engines idling, watching her disappear into the night. They came looking for a victim. Instead, they found a legacy, and the road that had once echoed with cruelty was now filled with the sound of quiet respect.